Whoa, gotta watch our step. This is how to be rich. Ooh, see what I mean? Part 7, 304. Gaining more and more equilibrium. In this manner, you will be continually gaining more and more mental and spiritual equilibrium. You will meditate upon gentleness and forgiveness. You will then begin to dwell in thoughts of love, of gentleness, of abounding forgiveness, and as you overcome the lower by the higher, there will gradually, silently steal into your heart a knowledge of the divine law of love with an understanding of its bearing upon all people and life and conduct. In applying this knowledge to your every thought, word, and act, you will grow more and more gentle, more and more loving, and more divine. By the power of meditation alone, a way of overcoming and becoming fuller and clearer measure of the light of truth illumines the pilgrim soul. By meditating, you will be ceaselessly fortifying yourself against the only real enemy, yourself, and you will be establishing yourself more and more firmly in the divine, imperishable self that is inseparable from truth. The direct outcome of your meditation will be calm spiritual strength that will be your stay and resting place in this life. Great is the overcoming power of the holy thought, and the strength and knowledge gained in the hours of silent meditation will enrich your soul, as by the power of meditation you will grow in wisdom and relinquish adversity, and you will take your stand with increasing steadfastness and a thrust upon unchangeable principles, and you will realize heavenly rest. Becoming one with eternal. The use of meditation is the acquirement of knowledge of eternal principles, and the power which results from the meditation is the ability to rest upon and trust those principles, and so become one with the eternal. The end meditation is therefore direct knowledge of the truth, God, and the realization of divine and profound peace. Here are the 5 great meditations. The first meditation is the meditation of love, in which you do so adjust your heart that you long for and will in the welfare of others and beings, including the happiness of your enemies. The second meditation is the meditation of pity, in which you think of all beings in distress, vividly representing in your imagination their sorrows so as to arouse a deep compassion for them in your soul. The third meditation is a meditation of joy, in which you think of the prosperity of others and rejoice with their rejoicings. The fourth meditation is the meditation of impurity, in which you consider the evil consequences of corruption, in which you consider. The fifth meditation is a meditation on serenity, in which you rise above love and hate and tyranny and oppression, wealth and want, and regard your own fate with impartial calmness and perfect tranquility. By engaging in these meditations, the disciples of the Buddha arrived at the knowledge of truth. But whether you engage in these particular meditations or not matters little, so long as your objective is truth, so long as your hunger and thirst for that righteousness, which is holy heart and blameless life, and your meditation let your heart grow and expand with ever abounding love until you are free, that embraces the whole universe with thoughtful tenderness. As the flower opens its petals to receive the morning light, so open your soul more and more to the glorious light of truth. Soar upward upon the wings of aspiration, be fearless, and believe in the loftiest possibilities. Believe that a life of absolute meekness is possible. Believe that a life of stainless purity is possible. Believe that a life of perfect holiness is possible. Believe the realization of the highest truth is possible. Those who so believe climb rapidly to the heavenly hills. Going within. All life is from within out. This is the same thing you should realize. The springs of life are all within. This being true, it would be well for us to give more time to the inner life than we are accustomed. There is nothing that brings us such abundant returns as to take little time in the quiet each day of our lives. We need this to form better, higher ideals of our life. We need this in order to see clearly in our mind the things upon which would concentrate and focus our thought forces. We need this in order to continually create a new and to keep our consciousness connection with the infinite. We need this for the conscious realization of the fact that the spirit of infinite life and the power that is the basis of all, working in and through all, is the life of all, is the life of our source and of our power. The essential art of receiving riches. The method of receiving is not difficult. The principal word to be used is the word open. That means simply to open your mind and to heart the divine inflow which is waiting only on the opening of the gate so that you may enter. It is no different from opening the gate that conducts life-giving waters from the reservoir above into the field below. The water, by virtue of the very nature, will enrich your life in the field, if only the gate is opened. In order to open our gate, it is important to realize our oneness with the infinite and the power that is waiting to supply us with the riches. We can do that right now and just realize the intimate relation the source bears to us and we to it. The open mind and heart is the first thing necessary for the attitude of receiving. The second is an earnest, sincere desire. Our good is there in the silence. It may be helpful at first to take yourself a few moments each day in the quiet, into the silence where you will not be agitated by the disturbances that enter in through the physical senses. There in the quiet that enter in through the physical senses with God, put yourself into the receptivity attitude, calmly, quietly, and expectantly desiring that realization to break in upon and take possession of your soul. It will manifest itself into your mind, and from this it will manifest in every part of your body. Then the degree that you open yourself up to it, you will harmonize body, soul, and mind. That will then harmonize these with the entire world. You are now on the mountaintop, and the voice of God is speaking to you. Then as you descend, carry this realization with you, live in it, waking, working, thinking, walking, sleeping. In this way, although you may not be continually on the mountaintop, you will nevertheless be continually living in the realization of all the beauty, inspiration, and power you have felt there. Moreover, the time will come when in a busy life on a noisy street, you can enter into the silence by simply drawing the mantle of your own thoughts about you and realizing that there and everywhere the spirit of infinite life, love, wisdom, peace, power, and plenty is guiding and keeping and protecting and leading you. This is the spirit. We'll continue in prayer. This is to pray without ceasing. This is to know and walk with God. This is and may be new birth, the second birth, the spiritual birth. This is to be swept into life eternal. Whatever one's form of belief or faith may be, for it is life eternal to know God. We will create a new song, the beautiful eternal now. This is the realization you and I can come into this very day, this very hour, this very minute, if we desire and will it. And if we now merely set our faces in the right direction, it is then but a matter of time until we come into the full splendor of the complete realization. To set our faces in the direction and maintain, then simply to journey on, whether rapidly or more slowly, will bring us to it. Set our faces in the right direction and wake to the start. Reach it. It was he who said, "Are you in earnest? Seize this very minute. What can you do or dream? You can begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. Only engage in the mind, grows heated, begin, and the work will be completed." The art of being ready to receive. There is a difference between wishing for a thing and being ready to receive it. No one is ready for a thing until he believes he can acquire it. The state of mind must be belief, not mere hope or wish. Open-mindedness is essential for belief. Remember, no more effort is acquired to aim high in life, to demand abundance and prosperity than is required to accept adversity. A great poet has correctly stated this universal truth through these lines. I bargained with a life for a penny, and a life would pay no more. However, I bargained that evening when I counted my scanty store. For life is just an employer, he gives you what you ask. But once you set the wages, why you must bear the task. I worked for a menial's hire, only to learn dismayed that any wage I had asked of life, life would have willingly paid. Let your soul expand into prosperity. It is... That was a good one. I really like that. It is granted only to the heart that it bounds with integrity, trust, generosity, and love to realize true prosperity. For prosperity, like happiness, is an inward realization. The open-handed and loving will realize a full and rich prosperity, even though their outward possessions may be small. When we contemplate the fact that the universe is abounding in all good things, material as well as spiritual, nature gives all without reservation and loses nothing. If you would realize true prosperity, do not settle down. Do not allow the word competition to shake your faith in supremacy, for I know the unchangeable law. Trusting the power of the law. Under all circumstances, do that which you believe to be right and trust the law. Trust the divine power that is eminent in the universe, and it will never desert you, and it will always keep you protected. By such a trust, all your adversity will be converted into gains, and all your adversity will be transmuted into blessings. Never let go of integrity, generosity, and love, for these, coupled with energy, will lift you into a truly prosperous state. Let your soul expand, let your heart reach out to others in loving, generous warmth, and great everlasting will be your joy and prosperity as it will come to you. These who have wandered from the highway of righteousness guarded themselves against competition. Those who always pursue the right do not have trouble about such defense. There is no empty statement. There are people today who, by the power of integrity and faith, have defied all competition, who, without swerving in the least from their methods, have always risen steadily into prosperity. To possess these inward qualities, which constitute goodness, constitute goodness, it is to be armored against all the powers of evil, and to be doubly protected in every time of trial. And to be oneself upon those qualities is to build up success which will be not shaken, and to enter into prosperity which will endure forever. Thank you.